What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Sweet Studio. My name is Joshua Grove, and today we are going to be learning how to do single taps. So there's going to be a couple variations in this tutorials, but we're going to be starting with the fundamentals. So just breaking it down to where we think you can start to get really consistent with that single tap. So a single tap looks like this. We're gonna be taking it to just trade big cup at first. So let's break this down. Now before jumping into the taps, you're gonna wanna go learn how to do a one-turn airplane first, because that's gonna set you up for a clean rotation with the Ken, which is gonna create consistent taps for you on the tap journey. So we have that twist and that pop. Now instead of waiting for that Ken to rotate all the way around for that airplane, we're gonna jump in there with our tama right as the Ken reaches about horizontal or parallel with the ground. So once it reaches this point, we're gonna get our tama in there, try to make contact with that base cup so that it will send the Ken in the opposite direction. Now, you're gonna be wanting to aim for the edge of the Ken. So just right at the bottom, right where the handle stall may be. You're gonna be aiming for that spot of the Ken and just making a clean tap. So the grip is important too. With the tama, I like to hold my pointer finger over the hole, my thumb just on the opposite side of the tama. This allows me to know where the hole is, and it's also giving me a clean surface to tap on. You can try tapping without your finger over the hole and just tapping right over the bevel. I find that when I try to tap over the bevel, that sometimes the handle will make contact with the bevel and it will send the tap in some weird direction. So I prefer to have a clean surface. You can explore it how you would like. So step 2 of this trick, once we have that first tap established, we're gonna be working on that toss and the catch. So right away, right after that clean tap, we're gonna toss the tama into the air, and I want you to focus on then, after tossing it, immediately grabbing the Ken so that we can move on to catching the cup, catching the ball in the cup or the spike after that. You can just let the tama fall to your side so that you can really just focus on catching the Ken in a clean motion. So if you notice, right after the tap and in the toss, the Ken is gonna do a 360 rotation to come back to my hand in Ken grip. So once I tap it, toss, and I have a clean Ken grip ready to move on to the next part of the trick. Now the last step is just simply catching the tama. So we're gonna catch it on the big cup at first. So right after you catch the Ken, I want you to just put all of your focus on the tama now to track it down to catch it in the cup. So breaking it down, break the tap, toss, spotting it, catching it on the cup just like so. A big focus point for this trick is just how you're tossing the tama. I like to throw it on the right side of the tama, so I just wanna make sure that after my tap, I have cleared the space of the Ken, and I can have a clean toss in the air so that I can also have a clean catch to the Ken. So when I tap, I wanna get out of the way of the Ken so that I have enough space to throw the tama up in the air and make a clean transition to the Ken. What you may find is that you're throwing the Ken and the tama, or you're throwing the tama into the Ken, and it's messing everything up. So just really make sure that you have enough space on the outside of that Ken. So those are the steps of breaking down just the single tap. Now we were going to big cup, so I'm just gonna show you a few variations of what you can practice after you get big cup really consistently. So after big cup, just give small cup a try. Tap, catch, small cup. You know, move on to bottom cup after that. Move on to penguin after that. There's many, many variations that you can explore after that. One of the very first ones you can try is just a single tap, trade, spike. After you've tried single tap, trade, spike, you can even go into that single tap, juggle the spike. So that's why we focused on catching the Ken first, because once you catch that clean Ken in that transition, you can move into juggles, tosses to lighthouse. You can also do single tap to house. And so you'll track it around so that you can catch it on the lighthouse. You can also do single tap, one turn in, right? So there's many, many variations that you can do coming out of taps, but it's really all about just learning that first fundamental process of getting a clean tap, clean toss, clean catch, and then you can add anything that you want onto it from there. So there you have it. There's the single tap tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. This is only the beginning of our tap tutorials section, so stay tuned for more tap tutorials. Make sure you subscribe, drop a comment, and we'll see you next time in the Sweet Studio.